A single text shatters Daniel's perfect life. What begins as joy turns instantly to suspicion as he reads the words that no fiancé should ever see. For the first time, doubt enters his heart, and the world he thought he knew begins to crack. He was sitting at his desk when his phone buzzed. A text from Claire, his fiancée. Only 2 weeks remained until their wedding, and everything was perfectly arranged. The flowers, the seating chart, the vows they had spent months weaving the pieces of their new life together. Smiling, he picked up the phone, expecting another question about decorations or guests. "Honey, I'm pregnant." For a moment, his heart stopped. Then it began to race. Pregnant. The word pulsed through his head, heavy with meaning. They were going to have a baby. Holy hell, he was going to be a father. A grin spread across his face before his mind had even caught up with what it meant. It was perfect. Their story was perfect. Until he kept reading. "I was thinking of putting my ex's name on the birth certificate. It's more meaningful." The smile vanished instantly. The words blurred for a second, then snapped back into focus. He reread the message. Once, twice, 3 times. Each time the same impossible sentence stared back at him. She wanted to name their baby after her ex-boyfriend. More meaningful. Those were her exact words. His chest tightened, the warmth of joy replaced by a cold, sharp panic. More meaningful than what? Than me? Than the father? Why would she even think that, let alone say it? He told himself to stop, to breathe. She hadn't said the baby wasn't his. She'd only said something weird. Maybe it was a joke, a stupid one. Maybe she didn't mean it the way it sounded. But the more he thought, the less sense it made. People didn't pair pregnancy announcements with nostalgic tributes to ex-lovers. Not unless there was a reason that terrified him. His thoughts scrambled. When was the last time they were together? 3 weeks ago? 4? Had she been distant lately? Acting strange? He couldn't even remember. Everything felt fuzzy now, as if the foundation of his life had suddenly tilted. He stared at the message until his screen went black. Then he unlocked it again, reading the words over and over as though repetition could change their meaning. His hands trembled. Not from anger, not yet, but from something worse. Uncertainty, doubt, fear. What if this baby isn't mine? The thought hit like a punch. He had no proof. She hadn't confessed anything. But why else would she mention her ex's name, his name, when announcing a pregnancy? He typed a reply, his fingers stiff and numb. What great news. Congratulations. Sarcasm felt safer than confrontation. He needed information before making accusations. Needed to see her face, gauge her reaction, figure out what was really happening. Right now, all he had was one horrible message and a gut full of dread. Grabbing his jacket, he left the office. His supervisor called after him, asking where he was going, but he didn't answer. In the parking lot, he sat in his car, gripping the steering wheel, pulse hammering in his temples. His phone buzzed again. "Claire, I'm so happy you're excited. We should celebrate tonight." Excited? Sure. That wasn't the word he'd use. He needed answers fast. Someone besides her. Someone whose reaction would reveal more truth than any words she could offer. He thought of one person, Zaki, Claire's ex-boyfriend. She had mentioned him once 6 months ago, during a drive pointing out the neighborhood where he lived. Said he'd gotten married, settled down, bought a house. It had seemed like innocent small talk at the time. Now it felt like a breadcrumb she hadn't meant to drop. He opened his Maps app. He remembered enough of the route. 40 minutes later, he was parked across the street from a tidy 2-story home with beige siding and a manicured lawn. A blue sedan and a silver SUV sat side by side in the driveway family cars. He killed the engine and sat in silence, watching the house. What am I doing? He thought. Am I really about to accuse a man I've never met of sleeping with my fiancée because of one strange text? Yes, he was, because that message was too specific, too bizarre to be random. If he was wrong, he'd apologize. If he was right, he needed to see it in Zachary's eyes. He stepped out of the car and walked to the front door. Knocked 3 times. His heart pounded, but his expression stayed calm. The door opened to reveal a woman, blonde, athletic, mid-30s, likely Zachary's wife. "Can I help you?" she asked, confusion flickering in her eyes. "Sorry to bother you," he said evenly. "Is Zachary home?" "He's at work. Can I ask who you are?" He hesitated, then pulled out his phone. "I'm Claire's fiancé." He turned the screen toward her. "She sent me this today." The woman's eyes scanned the text, her expression shifting from confusion to shock to something unreadable. "I don't know what it means," he continued quietly. "I was hoping your husband might have some insight." Her hand flew to her mouth. "What? Why would she say that?" "That's what I'm trying to figure out." She stepped aside, phone already in hand. "I need to call him. This is insane." "I agree," he said calmly. "Mind if I wait?" She nodded absently, already dialing. Her voice trembled as she told Zachary to come home. Immediately, offering no explanation beyond urgent. When she hung up, she looked at him again. "He'll be here in 20 minutes. Thank you." They stood in uneasy silence, tension thick in the air. She kept glancing at the phone in his hand, like she couldn't believe what she'd read. He kept his face composed, but inside his mind was chaos. A truck rolled by slowly, its driver's gaze lingering on the strange man standing on the porch. He ignored it. His phone buzzed, Claire calling. He declined it. She could wait. 18 minutes later, a silver SUV screeched into the driveway. Zachary jumped out, tall, fit, dressed in business casual. His eyes darted between his wife and the stranger on his porch. "What's going on?" he demanded. The fiancé held up his phone. "Claire sent me this today. Thought you might want to see it." Zachary took the phone, scanned the message, and his face drained of color. "What the hell? I haven't talked to Claire in years. Then why would she mention your name?" His wife cut in, voice sharp. "I don't know." He looked panicked now, eyes wide, breathing shallow. "This doesn't make any sense." "She's pregnant," the fiancé said flatly. "She wants to put your name on the birth certificate. Says it's more meaningful." "You telling me that means nothing to you?" "Absolutely nothing," Zachary snapped, voice rising. "I'm married." "I haven't been anywhere near her." His wife's eyes filled with tears. "Then why would she say this?" "I don't know. Maybe she's lying, trying to start something." "I don't know." The fiancé studied him. Was that genuine fear or guilt? It was impossible to tell. Either way, the visit had served its purpose. Doubt had been planted. Chaos had begun. "All right," he said finally, "I'll go talk to her. See what she has to say." Zachary grabbed his arm. "Wait, what are you going to tell her?" "The truth, that I came here, that you denied everything, that I want answers." Zachary released him, running a hand through his hair. "This is crazy. I didn't do anything. We'll see." He walked back to his car, leaving the couple to their panic. As he climbed in, he heard their voices, rising, his wife crying, Zachary shouting denials. His phone buzzed again. "Where are you? Why aren't you answering? Call me, please." He ignored it. Not yet. It was time to hear Claire's side of the story, and to see whether her face would match her words. Like, subscribe, and comment for next part, and share with your friends.